All right, here we go, me and you. We're going to do a YouTube SEO course. You're here because I guess we talked. You have my link. Congratulations. I'm here to help you. And you probably just already know about me, who I am. But just to recap, I've been on Fiverr for a couple years. I do only YouTube SEO for customers on all around the world, really all around the world, on lots of different subjects. And people have asked me about doing a course or coaching or teaching, consulting, and I didn't really have time to do all that, but I figured I guess now would be a good time to just do a course so that I can teach people to do exactly, do the YouTube SEO exactly the same way that I do it. And different people have different ways that they do the SEO, but I've studied a lot and I've learned a lot of tricks and tips and secrets that from everything that I've understood and learned is that it's the best way that we know of to do the SEO for YouTube. You want to give yourself the best chance, especially if you've got a new channel or a growing channel. You want to give your videos the best quality SEO content so that it maximizes your chances to show up in search results. You get ranked higher, end up in the suggested video column, and that sort of thing. And also, you know, Google and YouTube are the same company. So anything you put on YouTube is should automatically be indexed on Google. So if somebody does a Google search looking for information or entertainment or you know, anything, you know, they also show video results. So it's all connected. So it's even more important now to have really good thought out, intentional SEO that has been designed properly so it maximizes your chances to be found on searches. So anyway, the course has 5 parts: keywords, titles, descriptions. I'm going to do 2 case studies, which means I'm going to do an entire SEO from beginning to end. That starts with the keyword research, then building a title, writing a description, and showing you all the tools that I use to do all those things. And along the way, I found lots of different resources that make it easier and more effective and more efficient to do SEO. So I'm going to share all those with you throughout the course. So, and the last part is some marketing tips. You know, the general consensus, the general agreement is that, you know, you can't just have a YouTube video. You have to have links coming from other platforms that point back to your channel, to your videos, to your content. So, and there's a lot of different reasons for that, but it's really important. So we'll talk about some marketing tips. So the course is broken into 5 pieces. I'm going to put timestamps in the description down below. And so if you want to skip to different sections, you can easily do that without having to waste too much time. So I'll put timestamps in there for you so you can jump around if you want to. And I'm also going to, like I said, I'm going to use a lot of different, I'm going to show you different resources that I use, and then I'll put the links of all those things. I'll add those into the description too. So everything that I do, I'll show you where to find it, what it is, how to go directly to it, all that good stuff. So there's nothing secret. This is exactly how I do my SEO projects every day. So I always start with keywords. So let's start. The first section is about keywords. And there's a few different steps to deciding on your keyword phrases and designing how it's laid out. And it starts with research. Then you have to select which words and phrases are best. Then you have to organize those and prioritize them and figure out like how they fit within the content of your video. One thing I really want to stress is that keywords is not keyword, it's phrases. It's keyword phrases. They're called long tail phrases. For best optimization, you have to use phrases, 3 words minimum, usually 4 or 5 word phrases that are directly related to what your content is about. Okay, and there's ways that we find those phrases, and it's not too difficult, but it's really important to, if you have a channel about cooking, can't have, your keyword is not cooking. It has to be longer. What are you cooking? You have to be very specific, and we'll get into that. So we're going to do these things: research, select, organize, and prioritize. So in your YouTube video editor, when you're posting a video, it's going to ask you to put in your title, put in your description, and also actually wants you to put in your tags. Now, these are not hashtags. Sometimes people get these confused, like hashtags on Instagram. It's not hashtags. When this says tags, it just means keywords, keyword phrases, okay? And if you see here that there's a 500 character maximum, which means you can only fit about 15 phrases in there. Okay, so you have to really do your research and be selective about the phrases that you use. So this says, as I said, YouTube keyword strategy should include 15 to 20. 20 is a little high usually, but long tail phrases, okay? And you're limited to 500 characters, so we have to be very specific, all right? So the more specific, the better you will be, because I'm going to show you how to find out the best phrases. All right, so there's different ways to find or to get ideas for keywords and keyword phrases. And many people make the mistake of making a video first without really knowing the exact title of the video. So that's backwards. You want to determine the title of your video before you make the video, if you can, if you're able to. That way you have in your mind exactly how you're going to present your content based on that exact title. And the closely they're related, the content and the title are related, the better optimized it's going to be. So if you can, do your title research first. And there's different ways to do that. One way is by going to Google. All right, so let's go to Google, and they have a suggested search function. So if you start to type in a phrase, then it'll finish the phrase for you based on what's most popular. So for example, how to save money. So you can see all of the different suggestions it gives me. Now, some of them might fit, some of them might not be relevant to my content, but it's a way to, if you're thinking about what should I do my next video on, if my video is about saving money and budgeting, this gives you a lot of different information or ideas about what you could do SEO or do your video on. Here's another one, life advice 4. Okay, so you can see by looking at these that this is a handy tool to kind of use to stimulate your imagination and give you some ideas if you don't feel real creative, right? 5 best foods for longevity to eat, 5 best foods for diabetics, 5 best foods for your brain, for your eyes, for weight loss, etc. Okay, so you can see how that works, right? YouTube SEO, which is what we're talking about today. Again, it gives you lots of different options and different ideas. So, okay, so this is not the way to do keyword research. It's just a piece of, it's a tool that you can use for the whole package. All right. So in the whole process of keyword research and building, this is just one thing. You don't have to use it, and don't use it 100%, but make it just like a part of the process. And if you combine different parts and elements into the process, then it's going to be more well-rounded. It's going to be more solid. All right. So, all right, let's look at my screen, and I'm just going to jump on Google, and I'm just going to do a couple quick searches just to show you exactly in real time how this works. All right. So let's check it out. Okay. Now we're on my Google screen, and let's just type in, let's see, you're an exercise channel, and you do stretching exercises. So here we go, stretching exercises, and look at all the different examples and ideas that they give you. These are real terms and phrases that people are searching for. This is why they show up on this list, because they're popular. and it's what's happening and what people are interested in now. So it should give you some ideas. Let's do another one. Let's do how to cook. So I can go how to. All right, so it gives you lots of stuff on that. So let's expand it. Let's say you're doing Mexican food. So let's do. All right, so if I say how to cook Mexican, so now you can see, so it's not just cooking, it's not just how to cook, it's not just how to cook food or Mexican food, it's how to cook different Mexican rice, Mexican chorizo, Mexican beans, all right, black beans, corn, chicken, food. So you can see that this is a really good way to be inspired. Let's do one more. Let's do setting goals. I have some motivation channels, and they're talking about like inspiration, motivation, setting goals so setting goals for yourself, setting goals for kids, for work, for employees, for the new year, setting goals for examples. Okay, so this works for any topic. There's millions of different types of content, types of topics, themes of videos, and this works for anything. So I'm just giving you some examples that I had on the top of my head, but you can use this, you can do this with anything. All right, so let's go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so we did that on Google. So the same thing can also be done just almost exactly the same way. And since if you're a YouTube channel, you're doing SEO for YouTube videos, you can use Google, but you can also use YouTube, and it does a suggested search to see what the most popular search phrases are. So this is a YouTube search, study habits, and you can see the whole drop-down list, right? Yoga for, look at all these things, for beginners, for weight loss, for men, for women, beginner men, weight loss, let's see, sciatica, lower back pain, okay? Best Samsung. So if you're in electronics and things like that, best Samsung phone for 2021, 22. Best Samsung camera phone, best Samsung laptop. Okay. So these are just ideas. Okay. So let's go to my YouTube and just do a couple examples there. So let's go. Okay, so now we're on YouTube. So let's type in I like this. How to use chopsticks. How to use chopsticks. All right, so then if you have that and then you hit the space bar, then it shows you how to use chopsticks for like how many are on this list, 15 results on this list. Okay, so great ideas for a theme or a topic of your video. So you start with the title, then make the video. That's always the best way to do it rather than reverse, which I think a lot of people just make the content with something in mind, but not an exact phrase. If you have the exact phrase, then you can really zone in or key in and target the content that you present on your video. All right. One more, check this out. Let's see, I got home remodeling. So painting a living room. So check it out, painting a living room. Painting a living room ideas, painting a living room 2 different colors, painting a living room for beginners, etc., etc., etc. Okay, so you get the point. You see that you can use Google and you can use YouTube for suggestion. So not exclusively 100% to get your keyword research, but a good way to supplement your efforts in the whole process of your keyword strategy. All right, so let's go back to my PowerPoint. Okay, so that was a YouTube search term suggestion strategy. Now, what I use, I do the YouTube and the Google, and I've used other tools too. But a couple years ago, I discovered TubeBuddy, and this is a really cool application, cool tool to use, because it gives you lots of ideas that you never would have thought of. And not just that, but the most important thing, it gives you a score. And the score is based on search volume, how many people are searching for that topic, and then competition, how competitive is that phrase. Usually if the phrase is longer, it's less competitive, because that's just not as many people are using a long tail phrase. And then the overall strength, how well can you optimize this based on the other two factors of competition and volume, right? So it gives you a score. So like if I typed in improve YouTube search ranking, that phrase has 4 words and the score is 80 out of 100, which is excellent, it says. So, but in addition to, so I say, okay, well, that's a good keyword target phrase. Okay, so that's going to be probably my title, but I need other keyword phrases that are related to that I could use in the title and description. So it gives you lots of other related searches from YouTube, from Google, from YouTube videos, and just common tags that the internet has picked up, and it's all data that's been collected and sorted and organized. And it just takes a lot of the guesswork out of your keyword research, because it's really telling you what phrases are strong and what phrases maybe have too much competition or don't have enough searches, so which phrases to avoid. So it takes a lot of the guesswork out of that. So I use this every day, multiple times a day. It saves me hours of time, and it actually allows me to produce and deliver a really good quality product to my customers on Fiverr. So I'm using this, and a lot of people tell me that they use it, but then I check their scores and they're not using it properly. So there's a certain way that you can, you can't just use these phrases and then don't do anything else. There's a way to combine the phrases and then integrate those with the title, and then also using the title phrases, and then those have to appear in the description, like at the beginning, in the body, in the conclusion. There has to be like a whole structure to it that's more than just writing a couple lines for a description or using a few words in a title. Now you might see titles of bigger channels that don't have anything to do with the actual content. Like somebody, like a title might says, "You're not going to believe this." Well, that doesn't tell you anything about the content. But if it's a big channel and they've already got millions of followers or hundreds of thousands of followers, and they're already in the mix with the YouTube algorithm, so they're going to get suggested anyway because of their watch time and their engagement, they don't have to do the keywords and the titles and a lengthy description. They don't have to, because they've gotten past that point. Now they've already got a built-in audience, and YouTube knows to suggest their videos automatically because they're going to get watch time, and watch time sells advertising. So that's really what it's all about. Okay, so let's see what's next. Okay, so in a few minutes, I'm going to go on my TubeBuddy, and I'm going to do a couple searches, and I'm going to build some keyword phrases, and I'm going to show you how I structure it. And it takes a little bit of time, and but it's important to see the whole process. Because if you don't see the whole process, then you don't really understand the proper way to do all of this. Okay, so in a couple minutes, I'm going to go to my TubeBuddy, open it up, and then I'll show you exactly how I'll do a search. All right, so let's see. So and I'm also going to use the TubeBuddy in the 2 case studies that I'm doing in the 4th section of the course. So you can always jump ahead to that if you just want to see what that looks like and come back here. It's up to you. Okay, so let's do that now. Let's try the TubeBuddy. I'm going to turn that on, and let's try to play around with it and see what we can. Let me show you how I do it. Okay. Okay, so now we're on my YouTube screen, and we're going to look at how I used my TubeBuddy application. So up here, it's just a little tab that you click. It has to be loaded onto your YouTube channel. So I'm not sure if it's a Google extension or how it works. It's been a couple years since I loaded it, actually. But it's really convenient. You go to your YouTube channel and then you click on the TubeBuddy and then it opens up like this. And you'll see that it's got lots of different options. It's got analytics and topic planner and thumbnail planner and all kinds of other stuff. But honestly, thumbnail generator, health report, A/B testing, it's got a lot of stuff, but honestly, I just use it for the keyword explorer because the most important thing for me for what I do for doing SEO is to get the right keyword phrases and to get the optimized phrases. So let me show you how I do this. All right, so earlier we were on the YouTube example and I did stretching exercises, I think. So let's do, okay, so I type in stretching exercise and it gives you another drop down just like it does on Google and YouTube. So let's go to, let's say we're like a chiropractor or a doctor or something. So we'll do stretching exercises for back pain. Okay, so it tells you about back pain. And then, all right, so it gives you all of these different tabs that you can click. Stretching exercises for back pain, pain relief, back pain beginners, back pain during pregnancy. Okay, so let's say you're a doctor for pregnant women, you're a gynecologist or OBGYN. So let's say we're going to use this. So this is a nice long tail keyword. And look at the score. It's 87 out of 100. So it's stretching exercises for back pain during pregnancy. That's a long phrase, okay? But the search volume is good. The competition is not too strong. And because it's a long phrase, the strength of optimization is really good too. All right, so if I was going to do a video about stretching exercises for back pain, I would make it for back pain for pregnant women. And so that would be maybe your possible title. All right. So what this does is it also tells you other related terms that are related to this. So on YouTube, it doesn't have anything because it's a pretty long phrase, but on Google, let's see, move this over. But on Google, it gives lower back pain and pregnancy stretches, safe stretches for pregnancy back pain. These are all long phrases. These are great. Video topics, stretching for back pain while pregnant, stretching for back pain during pregnancy. This one is really long. Stretch for back pain during pregnancy. These are very similar. Okay, so I've already chosen 5 phrases. So, but there's like common related tags that aren't totally related, that aren't connected to the exact phrase, but they're in the same category. It's more general suggestions. So now these are really good, and it tells you the strength, like how strong how common these are. So the ones with the long lines here, these means that these are the most common that are searched for, but also probably the highest competition. But that's okay because we've already got our main phrase that we're probably going to use, which scores 87 out of 100. So now we just need some other keywords that are related that will show the algorithm exactly what the video content is about. All right. So I'm going to just choose some of these: pregnancy back pain relief, no physical therapy, back pain pregnancy stretches for back pain, prenatal yoga. So it's about, prenatal means before the baby's born, and yoga. So pregnancy yoga. So maybe let's use a couple of those. Lower back pain pregnancy exercises, backache during pregnancy, pregnancy back pain stretches, pregnancy stretching routine. So the lower on the list, the less common these phrases are in search, but they're still searched for. So these are opportunities to optimize your content with phrases that are still popular but are not as common with other YouTube creators and websites, right? Pregnancy stretching, that's a short one, but that's okay. Pregnancy stretching exercises. So let's do like how to align pelvis. Let's see. Pregnancy workout, upper back pain pregnancy, pregnancy back stretches. All right, now I've got 20 phrases here. All right. Relieve back pain pregnancy, prenatal back stretches, third trimester back pain. Okay. All right. So now I got 20, 23. Okay. So what you do is you copy this. So you copy here. Okay. So that's all on a clipboard now. So the next thing that I do is this. Check this out. All right. So I'm going to open up a blank WordPad. So I open up a blank WordPad, and these are all on my clipboard, so I paste. So there they are, okay? So, but I need to make a list, and this is kind of a pain. So if you want to fast forward, like maybe 60 seconds, you can, or you can just watch me make a list here. But this is the process that I go through when I am doing this for a customer. And you know, I don't have any kids, and I've never been pregnant, so I don't know anything about pregnancy or back pain. I know about back pain, but I don't know about back pain while being pregnant. But it doesn't matter if I know much about it or not, because the internet, Google, knows everything. And when I am in the stage where I'm making a description, then even if it's a topic like this that I'm not totally knowledgeable about, you know, Google knows everything. So you just go to Google and then you type in your key phrase, and there's usually lots of articles and information about that exact topic. So you find information and you do a little research, and you don't copy what the content is that's out there. But later on in the course, when I show you how to write a description, I'm going to show you what I do to take information and research and then restructure it so that it's original, it's not copied. Okay, so, all right, I made a list. Now, there might be a couple duplicates in there, I don't know, but I want to organize this list. I want to make it nice and clean and organized, so when I look at it, everything is really clear and I can kind of think about exactly how I want to build my title. All right, so I'm going to copy this nice list, and I'm going to use another tool, and the link will be in the description. So I'm going to go to this other tool called wordcounter.net, and it's an alphabetized tool. So what I've done is I've copied my list from my WordPad, and I'm going to paste it into this field here. Okay, so there's my list, and you have to have a comma at the end of each phrase. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I want to remove any duplicates. So I don't want to look at each individual line. There's like 24 lines here. I don't want to just look at each one, but I want to, if there's a double, we don't want duplicates, right? So we want to remove that. So I click over here, and looks like there weren't any duplicates. All right. So the next thing I want to do, because I really like to be organized. So I want to put these in alphabetical order. So this top tab here says alphabetize. So you click that, and voila. So everything's alphabetized. Now we select all, and we copy this. And then we go back to our WordPad, and it's already still highlighted. We're going to paste the new list that's no duplicates, and it's alphabetized, and paste. What did I do here? Okay, what happened here? Hold on. Let me try this again. All right, I'm going to delete that. Let's go back to this list. And okay, so here's my list. All right, I'm going to copy this list and go to my this, and then there it is. Okay, so there's my list, and now it looks nice and clean because everything's in alphabetical order. It's nice and neat. I like it neat. Okay, so from this list, we're gonna look at what was our original keyword phrase? I think it was this. I think it was stretching exercises for back pain during pregnancy, right? All right, so I'm gonna copy this, and I want to go back to. Let's go back to my keyword tool. I'm gonna type that in again. Just double check to make sure that's the right phrase. And that's the right phrase. It's the same phrase. So it's an 87. That's going to be our title, okay? Because it's got a high score. It's a long tail keyword. All right, so that is our title. Let me get rid of this other one. All right. Okay, so this phrase, let's cut that, right? And we're going to put this at the top of the list. All right, so that's going to be the first part of our title. Let's do but we have 100 characters in the title, and we can have a shorter phrase, but this is the primary phrase. Okay, so that's going to be your primary phrase, but you want some other information because it's good for the algorithm. It's good for the SEO. So let's take a shorter one. Pregnancy stretching routine. Let's do pregnancy stretching exercises. Okay, so I'm going to say the second half of my title would be pregnancy stretching exercises, but I want to check to see how that ranks because we didn't check the ranking on that phrase. I'm talking a lot. Okay, pregnancy stretching. Now this doesn't have to rank. This doesn't have to rank really high. Okay, so it's only a 31, but we've already got our primary phrase, but I would like to do better optimization somehow. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this phrase and I'm going to add best pregnancy stretching exercises and see if this ranks higher than 31. 99. I didn't plan that. Okay, so that's the second part of our title. So what I'm going to do is go back to my notepad. All right. Okay, we're going to change that to best. That's a trick if you add best because people look for the best of stuff. They use that in search. Okay, so that's my second. Okay, so when I do a title, I was going to show you later how to do this, but let's just do it here because it's part of the process. Okay, so I copied those two lines. There's your title. Stretching exercises for back pain during pregnancy. Best pregnancy stretching exercises. There's your title. Okay, so that's exactly how I do it. So, okay, now here's the problem. Here's the problem. It's not a problem, but with the keyword phrases, you're only allowed 500 characters, right? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let's open up a Word document. Okay, there's our new Word document. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I copied all that, I'm gonna paste it in there. I want the format to be like this. Okay, so can you read that? Let's make it a little bigger for you. Okay, this is gonna be our title. Now you're only allowed 100 characters in your title, and that looks kind of long, but not quite. I bet you it's about 93. So 91. I'm going to check that's about 89 characters. Okay, so the title's not too long. That's the first thing. So I highlighted this, and then what I did is if you're on a Word document, you can highlight anything, and then down here on the left, it'll tell you, click on there, it'll tell you how many words, how many characters with spaces. You want with spaces. Okay, so it's 89, so we're fine. All right. The other thing is now we're not allowed to go over 500 characters for our keywords. But look at all those phrases. There's probably 25 phrases there, right? So I need to count the characters. There's 93 words or 105 words. There's 691 characters. We have to trim off 200 characters to get under 500. Okay. And the way that I do this, because I've already got the main title, the main 2 keyword phrases, right? The rest of it is just not filler, but it's like additional content for the algorithm, but it's not 100% like critical that these all have high ranking scores on TubeBuddy. So if we have to trim 200 characters, that's quite a bit. So what I would do is I would go for some of these shorter ones first and just delete them. So we've already got a lot of, let's see, I'm going to take out prenatal yoga. Take out prenatal yoga. Let's see. Okay. Take out some. These are kind of redundant. These are kind of repetitive. So these are long. So this is going to save stretches. All right. So let's take out some of these shorter ones because, as I said before, the longer ones are the better ones. Okay. All right, so now our list is significantly shorter. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. There's like 17 phrases. So it's still over 500, I bet. But it's close. 523. All right, so we got to take out 2 more. We got 17 phrases. We have to take out 2 more, and then that'll give us 15 phrases, including the 2 phrases that are in the title. And you know what? This best pregnancy stretching exercises, I accidentally put it in there twice, so we'll take that out. So that's already in there. Okay, so now we got 15 phrases. Let's word count our words. 448. Perfect. Perfect. Because for some reason, when you put it on, you put it into the keyword field, it counts the spaces too. So 448 is actually like 475 or something like that. So that's a good amount. Okay, so there's your keywords. So okay, so we started with stretching exercises, but then we decided if we were going to do a video about pregnancy and back pain and how to relieve pain through stretching and things like that. So now we've got this nice list. First, we got this nice title, okay, and then we've got this nice list of keywords. All right, and that's what when I do a report, I do it like this so that my customer can just you can highlight. I think you can just highlight it and copy and paste into your YouTube editor the way that it is as a list. But because I do like a 1-page report, I don't want a long list because it takes up a lot of space. I like to try to get everything like mostly on 1 page. So it's the same list except it's just saving space. So so it's going to look like that. So when we do optimize title, optimize keyword tags, and that's it. Now, when we get to the point where actually, in the title section, I'm doing the title right now, so I'm kind of like already walking you through it, but we'll do some more examples on how to build a title, but that's basically it. It's finding a high score phrase and using that. And then when we do our description, right, it's really important to use these title phrases in the very beginning of the description, and then like scattered throughout the description, and then also some of these words, also some of these phrases too. So this is where your writing skills come into handy. And if you don't have writing skills, I've got tools that will mostly do the writing for you, which I'll show you later in the third section when we're talking about description. Okay. All right, let's see. All right, so I showed you a thorough, clear example of how I go through the TubeBuddy and research keyword phrases. The tool is, like I said, it's like $12 a month or $15 maybe, I'm not sure. But if you do SEO, you know, I charge $35 for one SEO. If somebody orders 5, it's $125. So if and I have customers that pay me every week for, you know, doing 5 or 10 videos per week. That's a lot. And you know, if that's not in your budget and you want to learn how to do it yourself, this is like the best way. So, all right. So aside from the TubeBuddy, there's other places that you can go, resources that you can use. One thing you can do is just go to Google and search for free keyword tags, or YouTube keyword tags. And there's websites out there and they'll give you a little taste. But if you want like the whole thing, they want you to pay. They want you to sign up, which is fine, I guess. But because I use TubeBuddy on everything, I don't really need to sign up for any other service. I don't think it's worthwhile or cost effective. But there are different keyword tools that you can use. There's one that I found that I think is pretty good. Not as good as TubeBuddy, but if you want something for free, there's one called keywordtool.io, and let's check that one out. Hang on. Okay, so here's another one that's called keywordtool.io, and it's got autocomplete. It's kind of like an autocomplete for YouTube and for Google, even with like Amazon, eBay, stuff like that. But the way that this one works is, I just want to show you what it looks like. Let's say if we typed in best cryptocurrency, right? And let's just do a search on what people search for in this tool. Okay, so you can see here that they, like, if you want this information, you can sign up. You try it now, you try it for free. Everybody's got a free trial usually, right? But this one is pretty good because it gives you, like, I typed in best crypto, and the results that it gave me, it doesn't show me all of the data because it's blurred out. I don't really like that. But what I do like is it gives you a really long list of phrases that you could use for ideas if you're planning a video topic. So this is like a really, really long list. So this is good. When you do a Google search suggestion, it gives you like a short list with like 12 or 15. And same with YouTube, it gives you like 15 results. This one gives you a lot more. I'll put the link for this in the description if you want to check it out. There's lots of other resources like this, like websites like this that kind of give you keyword lists and things. There's another one called vidIQ, but I don't use it. It's like the two main players are TubeBuddy and vidIQ, and I've watched comparisons, and it looks like they both have advantages, and one is good for some things, and the other is good for other things. But I kind of like what I have, and I think it works well for, it's user friendly, and for what I do, it's TubeBuddy is the most efficient one, but right. So that's that keyword tool. So when you take your list like I made on the WordPad, and you've got your 15 keyword phrases, then all you do is you go to your tags box and you paste it in there. You just copy and paste, and then they're all there. And some people forget. I have customers that leave it blank because they don't even know it's there. And this is just another way to tell YouTube exactly, what is your content about? What is your video about? And how should they rank you in search? So it's really important. Okay, so we talked about being specific. Don't just use like a single word. So long tail keyword phrases are always better than single keywords or 2 words, right? Long tail phrases. So be thinking in terms of that. So let's say your topic is you're cooking something, or you have a cooking channel. So cooking is a bad keyword. It's too broad. It's not descriptive. It's too competitive, obviously. So you want to be more specific. So cooking what? Cooking fish, for example. Okay, so that's still not specific enough. What kind of fish? Cooking salmon, right? Still not specific enough. You want more description. So cooking salmon at home, cooking salmon on the grill, cooking salmon for a party. I don't know. Cooking salmon at home on the grill. So look, we started with cooking fish, cooking salmon at home, cooking salmon at home on the grill versus in the kitchen or in the oven, right? Specific, right? And then cooking salmon at home on the grill recipe. So this is a really good example of like how you take like a really broad subject and make it very, very, very specific. So not as many people will be searching for this exact phrase, but when they do search for it, you're going to rank so much higher because you're going to have much fewer competitors or lower competition for such a long descriptive phrase. And also you're giving whoever's searching, you're giving them exactly what they're searching for. So you're much more likely to get a click and to get watch time and to get, likes and shares and comments and things like that. I mean, that's the whole purpose, right? So, okay. One more example, travel. Travel's a very broad subject, right? So travel where? Travel to Asia. I live in Hong Kong, so I love being in Asia. Where in Asia? More specific, travel to Thailand. Where in Thailand or how? Travel to Thailand on a budget. Where in Thailand on a budget? Bangkok. Travel to Bangkok on a budget video, right? So you can see we start broad and we get very narrow and very specific in a longer phrase, but it's, again, not as many searches, but less competition, and you're more likely to be ranked for that phrase. So that's the strategy for keywords. So we've used the TubeBuddy. Let's do one more. Let's do one more TubeBuddy example, shall we? Let's do we just talked about cooking salmon, right? Let's go to TubeBuddy. Okay, all right, we're back on my TubeBuddy. All right, let's, we were talking about cooking salmon. Let's do something, let's do like we have a house and we're gonna paint. So we used the example earlier, I think, about painting. So, So maybe if I have to do a SEO for somebody painting a living room, that's their video topic. All right. All right. So I'm going to search this, and it's 64. It's very good. Search volume is high. There's quite a bit of competition, but the optimization strength is pretty good because it's a 4-word phrase. All right, so let's do that. So painting a living room. Let's do painting living room ideas. See, 87. Okay, so we went from like a 60-something to an 87. So that's a little longer phrase, but that's like a really good key phrase because it's an 87 out of 100, and it's 5-word phrase. So this is going to be our, let's do this. Let's go down here. Let's do another thing here. Where am I? Okay, so painting and living room ideas. All right, that's going to be our keyword phrase. I like that phrase. It's got a high score. It's very clear. All right, but now we need some more content, some more suggestions. So let's see what Google says. Painting a small living room ideas. Ideas for painting one wall in a living room. Color ideas for painting a living room. What color to paint a living room? Right? How to, you can say how to something, how to paint a living room, how to paint a living room wall. Best, we said best in the last example, best way to paint a living room. How to paint a living room fast. Let's see. Okay, so now we have 9 phrases. All right, so now let's go to more general. This is going to be more general. So because it's home decor, so it's about interior design. So let's click on let's choose interior design ideas, because that's related to painting a living room. Living room ideas. DIY projects. I know that's a short phrase, but that's good to have in there. Living room color ideas, living room decor, living room design. What else? How to paint a room, painting a room, tips for painting a room, how to paint a wall. That might be too broad. How many phrases? We got about 19 phrases. Steps to painting a room. How do you paint a room? Steps to painting a wall. How to make your home look expensive. There's a really long phrase on a budget. How to make your home look expensive on a budget. That's a really long phrase, but I want to check that out. Okay, so I'm going to copy theirs. There's 22 phrases. All right, so those are copied. And to not copy it. I didn't copy it. Hang on. Let's go back here. Okay, copy to clipboard. Okay, this should be copied now. Okay. So, all right, there's all my phrases. Okay, so we've already got this one. That's our first one. And that should be our main key phrase. So again, if you want to fast forward for like 60 seconds while I do this tedious, I have to figure out a way to put this in a document and then have it make a list. I tried before, but it takes out all the commas, and you have to have the commas. So I just found it easier just to go through and just do it this way instead of trying to find a shortcut. So maybe I'm lazy. So we're making a master list again like we did the first time. And Let's see. Okay, we're almost there. Painting a room. So these are all related, and some are more specific and some are more general, but it's good for the overall SEO because you're giving the algorithm information that it uses in lots of different ways, and honestly nobody really knows exactly how it's used and how the algorithm works and how often they change it. Okay, so there's our list. And I want to go back and I want to check out this long tail phrase. So it's this one, how to make your, so you can click on any one of these and then it becomes the suggested one. Okay, so that's not very good. So this one is not, but maybe we can, let's just shorten it. How to make your home look expensive. Okay. Ways to make your home look expensive. I like this. Budget home decorating ideas. So let's click that. That's a 6. That's very good. So that can be like our second phrase. That's a pretty strong phrase. So let's take that. Okay, so my main keyword is going to be painting a living room. So we have ideas in there twice. Let's see. I'm not quite happy with that. How to paint a painting a living room ideas. Okay. I'm going to take this one. How to paint a living room wall. Let's see what the TubeBuddy says about how to paint a living room wall. 89. Look at that. Okay, so that's a really high score. So there. Okay, so that's our second. Okay, so this is going to be the second half of our title. Okay. So the top two phrases are going to be the two title phrases. But you know what? We still need to make sure that there's no duplicates. Okay. So there's no duplicates. So let's go back to our tool that allows us to, let me find it here. Okay, so we're going to go back to word count. All right, so we're going to take this list, remove list duplicates. There's no duplicates. All right, and then what I want to do, I want to make sure I keep these two at the top. So, okay, so I'm going to copy those. We'll get rid of these two. Okay, now I just want to alphabetize these. I want to put these in alphabetical order, which they are now. Select all, and then go back. Okay, so I'm leaving the top two because that's our title. Okay. These are not alphabetized. What happened? What happened? Let's go back. Let's get back. Alphabetize this list. Okay, that's alphabetized. All right, let's go back. This is real life, everybody. This is real life, how the process works. So I paste into there. Okay, so now I've got an alphabetized list, and top two, I'm going to leave there, but I'm going to copy those, and I'm going to put these up here, and then I'm just going to make it look like a title. Da-da-da-dum. Okay, so the title of your video is Painting a Living Room Ideas / How to Paint a Living Room Wall. So you got two really strong keyword phrases. And actually the first phrase was a little higher ranked, I think, but it doesn't, doesn't really matter too much. Okay, so let's go to our Word document. So I open up a Word document. There's our last SEO that we did. Okay. And then I want to do word count. So the title is definitely short enough. Title is only 62 characters, which is fine. All right, but the keywords is going to be too much. 122 words. That's way too much. 632. We have to take out like 150 characters. So this one didn't rank high, and that's a long phrase. So let's take that out. How to make your home look expensive on a budget. Let's take out another long phrase. We take out the long phrases, we keep the short ones in. Living room ideas, living room design, living room decor. We already have painting a room. That's too general. Okay. All right, we're getting closer. Let's see how many characters we have. We're shooting for like 450 or 67. DIY projects is really short, but I want to leave that in there because that's a good phrase. That's good to have in there. How to paint a living room, how to paint a room. So these are two similar, so we'll just take this one out. Okay, so now we're perfect. All right. So as you can see here, see, I could do this. I'll change that. Okay, so we've done a title, and we have generated a list of keywords. Okay, here's another thing I didn't mention on the last one. The first two, or the title keywords should be the first keywords. So, okay, so the phrases that you use in the title. So if the first phrase is painting a living room ideas, second phrase is how to paint a living room wall. Those phrases should be 1 and 2. Number 1 and number 2 in your keyword tags box, in your keyword tags field, when you enter that into your YouTube video editor, okay? So, and then the rest of them are supposed to, people say they should be in order of importance or order of ranking. I do alphabetical order because when I look at it, it's just easier to kind of see what I have. And then also what I do in the description is I have another trick that is a way to add the keywords in a kind of an easy way. And I'll show you when I do the description, but it looks something like this. I go, let's see. I say people who watch something like this video are looking for, okay. So, and then I'll do like bullet points. Oh, no, not there. People who watch this video are looking for, and I'll do like this. Okay, can you see what I'm doing? So this is part of the description. So I'm taking the keyword list and I'm also integrating the keywords into the description as kind of a bullet point list, but I'm also going to do like an article with a story, and I'm going to mainly focus on these two phrases when I do the description, the top two phrases. But, you know, it never hurts to have some content that includes the keywords that appear, because then it'll show you in the TubeBuddy, it shows you how many of your keyword phrases got ranked and where they're ranked. Are they number 6, number 10, number 17? It shows you all that. So nobody's really sure about like how what the keyword density should be, how many times you should use a keyword phrase in a description. You see keyword stuffing, that's not good, because when somebody just uses the same phrases over and over and over again, or there's no structure. They just use all their keywords in the description, but there's no story. There's no nothing descriptive. There's nothing to read. It's just a bunch of words. And the algorithm is smart enough to know what that is and recognize that. And that just hurts. That hurts the ranking, and it hurts the the overall effectiveness of what you're trying to accomplish when you're doing SEO. So, it's not an exact science, but there are definitely ways to give yourself an advantage by being more intentional and being more thoughtful about the information that you're putting into your keywords, title, and description, right? So we did another TubeBuddy example. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for keywords. The great thing about this being a video, you can just go back and look again if you missed anything or if you didn't catch something. I tried to be as clear as possible. You can try TubeBuddy. There's a free version, and it's kind of limited, but not totally. So you can try it and try a free version. And then if you decide that you want like the full thing, it's not that expensive. It's like $10-12 a month, I guess, like I said. And I'll put a link in the description, but I've got, I get a little bit of like a commission, I guess, if somebody clicks on the link with my name at the end. So if you want to do that, that'd be really cool. I'll put that, like I said, in the description. And let's see, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Okay, so I don't think there's anything else I want to talk about regarding keywords. I kind of showed you everything that I know and everything that I do about going through the whole process with keywords. So I hope you find that useful. It makes my customers happy. They seem to keep coming back because they're happy with the quality of the work that I do. And so again, if you want to do it the same way that I do, I just showed you how. It's not rocket science, but there's a process that if you follow it, you'll be efficient and effective in getting the keywords set up and structured the right way. And I actually also showed you about titles. We'll do more about titles in the next section, but I kind of showed you exactly, what that's all about. But we'll look at some other stuff, maybe not as much detail, I guess, because there's not that much to say about the structure of titles other than kind of what I just showed you. I think the main two things are the keywords and the description. The title is kind of the title. It's short and it just comes from the keyword. So, but we'll talk a little bit more about it, and then we'll go on to description in the third section. And there's a lot to talk about when it comes to writing an effective description that's good for optimization, because there's a lot of elements that you can include, that you should include, that you can't forget to include when you're doing that. Okay, so that's it for keywords. Go back and look if you missed anything, and see you in the next section, and we'll go from there. Thanks. Talk to you in 1 minute. Bye-bye.